All right, welcome everyone back to the Cryptoverse. Today we're going to be talking about Ethereum. So I'm fairly bullish on Ethereum right now. I think there's a lot of good things coming for it. If you're not familiar with it, it's one of the major onboarding platforms for many other coins. And additionally, it's basically made it so that people can just create ERC20 tokens on top of the Ethereum platform, which is partially responsible for the ICO craze in 2017. So I want to go into some of the recent movements with Ethereum and kind of looking at it in terms of long-term shifts rather than short-term shifts, and try to see if we can understand where it might be headed in the short term. So if you're not familiar with the videos that I make, I publish various reports over at intothecryptoverse.com, and I make videos for these coins, so you can check those out if any of those coins are interesting to you. Maybe I'll post a report on Ethereum, but I just want to just kind of gauge kind of the audience I might have for something like that. So if you jump into the charts for Ethereum, it's actually, and you really dive deep into where these momentum shifts occur, I think it can be quite informative on where we may be headed. So. And I've always said that Bitcoin is ultimately the driver of the market. So we want to look at things in terms of Bitcoin. So one of the things that I've talked about in previous videos is how the Bitcoin bull market, because it sort of defines when the bull market is confirmed, is when it holds the 20-week moving average. So you can see it holding the 20-week here, and then when it's the bear market, it holds it as resistance. Bull market, there's a red line here, it's holding it as support, so that's the 20-week moving average, and then in the bear market it holds it as resistance. And the bull market, and guys, this goes back all the way to 2011, so if you want to, you can go look at the BLX on TradingView, and you can see the same trend occur all the way throughout the history of Bitcoin. But one of the interesting things is that once the 20-week moving average is held, Ethereum acts differently than a lot of other coins. So a lot of coins won't really start seeing a lot of momentum gains on Bitcoin until Bitcoin hits its previous all-time high. So for instance, let's just, let's say, pick a different coin here. Let's just say Litecoin. So if we look at Litecoin with respect to the US dollar, I just want to show you guys kind of how different coins behave with respect to Bitcoin, and then how Ethereum is different. So, for instance, when Bitcoin first held the 20-week moving average in January of 2016, which is the first time it confirmed the bull market, so note that it broke above the 20-week moving average in July, but it could not hold it as support, and we really were just continuing this accumulation phase. But once we held it as support in January of 2016, if you go over to Litecoin, not a whole lot happened with Litecoin in January 2016. You can see that it didn't really do that much. We saw some gain here, but again, it was from $3 to $5, and it was fairly short-lived. And you'll see this with many other coins as well. When they do spike up, it's when Bitcoin hits its previous all-time high. So if you go back to Bitcoin, this all-time high over here of $1,100 was hit in the first quarter of 2017. So once it hit that all-time high, you can see that some profits were taken from Bitcoin. Once it hit the all-time high, the profits took us down right to the 20-week moving average. And in that same time, those profits were then sent over to a lot of altcoins in that first quarter of 2017. So you can see it lines up perfectly. So this is when alts bloomed. And if you don't believe me on just this one instance, let's look at another one. So let's look at XRP. I'm not asking you guys to specifically like any of these coins, but just look at the how they relate to one another. So again, in January of 2016, when Bitcoin held the 20-week moving average, XRP didn't really do anything. It wasn't until Bitcoin hit an all-time high in 2017 that XRP took off. Same thing with Litecoin. Ethereum's different though. So with Ethereum, whenever Bitcoin holds that 20-week moving average, and I think it's because there's a lot more confidence in Ethereum. It's there's so many coins built on it. And if you're using it to pay gas fees or whatever it is, it's just a natural token for many people to keep in their wallets. And so I think there's a lot of confidence in it. But again, looking at Bitcoin, once we held the 20-week moving average in January of 2016, if we go back to Ethereum, let's go to January of 2016, you can see what happened. So if we take a measured move here, say January of 2016, we went up around 1,500%, okay? And then again, that doesn't mean that Ethereum was left out when Bitcoin hit its all-time high. And in fact, you can see it again. So in the first quarter here, basically when Bitcoin hit its all-time high, we ended up doing another 3,300%. All right, and then again, we did a final almost 400% once Bitcoin plateaued at 20,000. So Ethereum has a lot of things going for it. There's several different times in the Bitcoin market cycle which signals a good buy time for Ethereum. And so I think just looking to see what Bitcoin's doing is a really good way to time your entries into Ethereum. So the question is are we going to hold this moving average? So if we can hold this moving average, this is what's going to cause Ethereum to go up. And you can see it's already started doing that. It's already started showing, a huge, this is, it's gone up, 170 to 220 in just a few days, or a few weeks. So I think we're seeing the beginnings of that. It's basically people are starting to speculate. All right, we're holding this 20-week, and in fact, the other day when Bitcoin, it went down by several $100s at once. It went down straight to that 20-week moving average. So we're really showing some strength right now. As long as we hold that 20-week moving average, I think now is a great time to be getting into Ethereum. If you look at the history of Ethereum, I always get bullish on Ethereum at the end of the year in the fourth quarter. That's typically when most of the gains occur. I don't think there's anything specific about that. I just think it happened. That's how it happens to work out in the market cycle, with relation to the Bitcoin halving and whatnot, and what Bitcoin's doing. But you can see that if you're investing in Ethereum in the last quarter of a year, you typically are handsomely rewarded pretty shortly. So if you'd invested in end of 2015, you would have been rewarded in early 2016. If you had invested the end of 2016, you would have been rewarded in 2017. Again, if you had invested in the fourth quarter of 2017, you would have been rewarded going through January of 2018. Again, here, if you had invested down here in December of 2018, you would still be up even in July. So typically the way you want to handle it is it's a good time to typically get into Ethereum in the fourth quarter every year, and then be looking to dollar cost average your way out over the next few months, waiting for that next entry point. And again, the way to do that is just look what Bitcoin is doing and where Bitcoin is. So now we're about to enter the fourth quarter of the year. In about a week and a half. I really think the next 3 to 4 months. While I'm not going to comment exactly on what the price is going to do in the meantime, again, if we hold the 20-week moving average, I think good things are in store for Ethereum imminently. It's possible we don't hold it, and then we come back up, and then the next 3 months are going to be kind of like the last opportunity to buy in this range before we see a further increase in Ethereum. So personally, I think Ethereum is highly undervalued right now. Just following the markets daily for years, I think we're really about to see a huge move up. And just looking at Ethereum with respect to Bitcoin, you can see in terms of the RSI, which is the relative strength index, we are in a very strong buy region. So, when we're at 70, we're typically oversold or overbought. When we're at 30, we're oversold. And in the history of the coin, whenever we are in this region of around 30 or below, we're typically followed with nice price increases. So you can see over here in December of 2016, that was when we saw this move here with respect to Bitcoin. Here we only came down to 40 or so, and we still saw a nice move up. And here we did hit that 30 on the RSI, and we saw a slight move up. But again, this was during the 2018 bear market, so and I don't think at the time Bitcoin was really hitting any huge milestones that I just previously outlined. But anyways, I think we are very oversold right now, and I think the next 3 months or so, great time to start getting into Ethereum, and then potentially taking profits within the first quarter of 2020, maybe the second quarter of 2020, and really getting back into it again once Bitcoin hits its previous all-time high. So again, if you're just looking to hold long term as opposed to trading in and out, that's fine too. Again, if you want to go long, I think now is the time to do it. But I am not a financial advisor, and I do not offer financial advice. This is just my opinion, just using my own analysis codes to look into some of these trends more deeply. So again, if you guys like this content, you can subscribe to my channel and turn alerts on if you like these types of videos. And then also in the description below, you can find links to my Telegram channel, as well as my Twitter, and of course the website intothecryptoverse.com. All right, guys, that is it for this video. So until next time, bye.